Well, our business fit the nature of the valley here. We've taken a Western attitude towards the horse-drawn vehicles rather than an Eastern attitude. We tend more towards the vehicle types that were common out here rather than doing some of the real fancy coaches, antiques in general, and now horse-drawn vehicles also are becoming a collector's item and of interest, being caught up in that general nostalgic attitude that's all over the country. But we get lots of inquiries from even New York, probably more than anywhere. Florida would be a second state that we get a lot of contact from, and it's a fascination with the West. And I know that people back there still think that people pack a gun and ride horses to work and the stuff out here. And I think Kirk and I, we may play that up a little bit in our business. One, it's kind of fun to do, and two, we're a little bit that way. You can't, I don't think, get rich in the carriage business, particularly if you do a lot of restoration work, because there's just so much hands-on labor. It's totally labor intensive. You have to do it because you just love doing it and enjoy other rewards besides monetary. Perhaps if Kirk and I had known before we decided to make a business out of this, the degree of complexity that was involved, and it might have changed our minds in doing it, but I think we were just too dumb to know that there was so much to know in the business, and we kind of just ignorantly tripped our way right on into the buggy business. We started simply enough, just really building two-wheeled carts. We responded to the pressure that I think that people put on us. There was a lot more of a market out there than just for one or two styles of two-wheel draft horse carts, and we were soon inundated with requests to work on or reproduce any number of types of vehicles. In fact, almost literally anything that was drawn by a horse. We're kind of hesitant to bring in a big staff of workers, and it causes Kirk and I to end up stepping out of the hands-on part of the business, which we really enjoy, and neither one of us really want to be a manager for a crew of men. We prefer being actively involved in the day-to-day aspects of the job. We do, of course, have kind of an assistant now, and in our younger brother, and he'll probably continue to help us on a periodic and part-time basis. wheels are rather complicated. They don't appear so maybe at first glance, but there's an awful lot that's going on in a wooden spoked carriage wheel. We actually began doing the carriage works and not addressing the wheel work, at least as an exclusive portion of our business. We were repairing wheels and constructing wheels for our own vehicles, but there's been so much pressure on the shop to provide wheelwrighting services for people that we're now doing them, and I would say that we're probably the second largest in volume in the state of Montana on our wheel work. And we use the tenon cutter to put the tenon on the end of the spoke. It has to be fairly precise because the tenon needs to fit quite tightly into the felly. We still just use the old-fashioned tenon cutter, and with this modified hand crank drill press, we could probably put a electric motor on it and speed up the process, but there's just something enjoyable about coming out here and cutting the tenons by hand, and you get a lot of good exercise and keeps your arms and upper body in pretty good shape. Somehow it seems right when you're building a buggy wheel or a wagon wheel, if you can, to use the old tools that the people were using 100 years ago.
Well, there's certain things that Bill's more proficient at than I am and stuff, you know. I drift more to the ironwork and metalwork and stuff, and Bill's real good in the woodworking area and stuff. But unique thing about Bill and I is we can cross over back and forth a lot, and we're unique in the way that Bill can be working on a project and have to leave, and I can come in and pick up right where he's at, that's real unusual for two people to be that, you know, compatible.
Traveler is one of those old-fashioned tools that there just doesn't seem to be any good substitute for. We use it to measure the circumference of the fellies on the wheel, and then we transfer that measurement to the hoop or metal tire, and again, we measure the inside of that and match it to the circumference of the wheel, minus a little bit of material, whatever we calculate we need to set that tire. Probably the aspect of wheel making that's the most enjoyable, I guess, is putting the iron hoops onto the wheels. A lot of the rest is tedious work. You spend a lot of time getting just the right angles on the spoke faces so that you pull the dish in the right way instead of backwards and all. But once all the fussing and detail work's over with and you've got your wheel assembled, then it's just kind of fun to build the fire and throw all the rims, which we mark very carefully so we know we're putting the right rim on the right wheel, and but throwing them into a big bonfire and you have time to relax in between tire sets, and it can be exciting. You have to work real fast. It gets real. In fact, it can be a little bit dangerous if you're not coordinating your actions real well with your partner. You can suffer a pretty severe burn, but we've gotten to where we're pretty handy at doing it, and each of us knows what the other one's doing, and we enjoy doing it. It's kind of the culmination of the wheelwright work. You see the wheel pull itself into proper position and stabilize, and hopefully you've got it round and proper dish, and when you're all done, then you can kind of kick back and relax for a while.